Okay, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Right, not a lot has been done since the end of the last episode. I haven't really done an awful lot. I've really just been sitting here and thinking. I've got a little bit done. I realised that this pump, due to the expansion of the water reservoir, isn't now actually submerged in water, so I've removed that, and I've built this pump instead, which is lower down, which will do that. As I promised, I got this thing working, so we've now got our build-up of polluted water here. That's all getting sorted out. And yes, nothing else really. So what I've been doing is I've been looking around in a research tree, doing a tiny bit of research, and one of the things that I found is this, which is called an electrolyzer. And this converts water into oxygen and hydrogen, which to me doesn't make any sense. Oh no, it does make perfect sense, because water is H2O, which means it's a hydrogen molecule and two oxygen molecules, which means that makes perfect sense. I was thinking of CO2 there for a minute and wondering why this wasn't splitting into carbon dioxide. But never mind. If we built a machine like this, right? If we built a machine like this, one of these, I don't know, let's say there. Actually, no, let's not say there. Let's actually make this a sealed environment first. Because I don't think that harvesting naturally occurring hydrogen is a good idea. I think what would be a better idea is pumping naturally occurring hydrogen elsewhere into a controlled environment, and, even better than that, the production of hydrogen ourselves. Now, this isn't an ideal process by any stretch of the imagination, because it requires the consumption of water, which there are quite a lot of water reservoirs. We've got one down here, we've got a fair amount of polluted water over here, there's some stuff up here, there's some over here, and there's some slightly smaller ones over here. So there is some water here. There's not large amounts of water here, and I think perhaps this tactic will be better in one of the types of worlds where there are large biomes of salt water. Perhaps that would be the idea. But what I'm thinking is we make this, which annoyingly doesn't have a water pump. I think it requires water delivery, which is really, really annoying. I really wish that wasn't how this worked. But don't worry about that. I think if we build this, this will take water, convert it into oxygen and hydrogen. And then we get an air pump and an air filter to get the hydrogen and pump it into this room, where then this machine then uses the hydrogen generator to produce power. Because I'm trying to wean us off coal generation before this causes us problems. Because I'm going to guess, as much as I haven't looked at this, I'm going to guess the temperature here is already not good. Yeah, it's not. It really isn't. And even areas which aren't really using heat are already moving from light yellow to dark yellow, going towards orange. Great. So yeah, let's get this constructed and see how this works, because I've never used this thing before, and I want to see how this works. Because that way we'll be producing oxygen and also producing power. I don't really like the oxygen production method. I'm perfectly content with the terrariums producing our oxygen, but I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. Oh, it does need a water intake. Oh, brilliant. That's actually really good, because that means it's not going to be, what is even the word I'm looking for? It's not going to be bothered by the, I thought people were going to have to constantly go in and out, but they're not, because I can't think of, no! They're not going to be bothered by all that rubbish. Right, never mind. Let me try that again. No, not that. Honestly, I'm so freaking clumsy. Okay, right. Pipes. Okay. Let's connect this pipe up here to this. Because this pump, right? This pump is just pumping for the sake of these plumbing things. It's not being used all the time, which means it can easily be pumping some into here. So, get that connected to the pipe. Let me just disable this for the time being, because I don't want it to get started until we're ready to take advantage of it. So, where is my ventilation? Here it is. Okay, so we need our gas pump. I really should deconstruct these pipes because they're really getting on my nerves. Are they unreachable? No, I don't know. Okay. We need a gas valve. Not a gas valve, a gas pump, for crying out. Yeah. That's going to intake the gas. This filter... This filter is then going to go here. And this gas pipe is going to connect to here. So all the gas is going to come into this filter and it's going to go in here. The oxygen needs to go one way, and the hydrogen needs to go another way. Yes, so we'll put the hydrogen down here, and everything else, which is just oxygen, it's just going to be oxygen, because there's only oxygen in here, and the only other thing that's going to get in here is oxygen. We might get a little bit occasionally of CO2 or something, but that's not going to be a massive problem to deal with. So, yeah, no gas intake. Oh yeah, because I haven't connected it yet. I'm panicking over nothing, and I've still got this set on the fastest speed, which I'm not convinced is a good idea. But, so I think the orange one is the special one. I think the orange one is the specific thing, but I want to wait until it's constructed before I wire it up, because I've already made enough mistakes so far, and don't want to make any more. Okay, let me just get rid of that, because that's bugging me, that being there. I would get rid of all of this, but I don't think this is reachable. Okay, right, let's have them build these. Oh, we've got something we're supposed to be doing. Shine nymphs. I don't want shine nymphs. They're an absolute nuisance, those shine bugs. They're a royal pain in the not-so-royal bum. What are you? Asleep? What? They consume carbon dioxide and exude crude oil. That is amazingly brilliant, and I love these little guys. I have no idea what they are or why they exist. But, yeah, I don't know if I showed this or not. This is some other random creature that turned up at some point. I don't really know what's going on, to be quite frank. Okay, right, I forgot I needed to wire all this up. I always forget to wire things up. I don't know why. You'd really think that I'd know to wire things up, and yet seemingly I don't. Okay, right, let's get all of this wired up and get all of this sorted out. Okay, right. So the output 2 is the special thing. The output 2 is the special thing. So you are purely going to output hydrogen from there. And everything else is going to go out the green one. Okay, right. I'm beginning to learn how this works. So now this needs to attach to that. And then this needs to go off to some vaguely central place where we can pump out the oxygen. This is going to kick out oxygen production to the roof. I've just realised that. Which means we're going to have to turn off all of these and probably deal with high pressure. But at least stress is going down. It's something to be grateful for. So... I don't know. Let's build it. I don't know. I'm scared to put it anywhere because I feel like wherever I put it is going to be wrong. But CO2 goes down. Maybe I should push it down. But then the oxygen is going to go up anyway. It's going to do that naturally anyway. It's going to sort of diffuse around naturally. I'm just going to put it there. Okay, right. I think we are just about ready to have a try. This is probably going to go horribly, horribly wrong, but I think we're about ready to have a try. And... I think this will still pump the hydrogen. I don't think if this is overpressured it will matter. What matters is that I can't speak. What matters is that I've just remembered there's a high pressure problem. Where do we have low pressure? See, everywhere there is huge amounts of... I thought with this game being called Oxygen Not Included, the primary problem would be about oxygen production, not about anything else. Fine. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Probably something monstrously stupid, and we'll do it anyway. I'm actually going to turn off all these terrariums. You're probably screaming at me at the moment, but you'll probably scream at me the entire time I play this game because I'm an absolute muppet when I play it. Let me turn all of these off. And it's going to start crying out about oxygen generation, but never mind. So is this going to work, is the question. Is this going to work? Is it going to pump? Because what I want it to do is to move the hydrogen. It doesn't really matter if it just gets loads of oxygen in here. It's going to get really high pressured, but that's not the end of the world. And I'm hoping that by having these terrariums off, that some of the oxygen will go down a bit and maybe the pressure will be decreased here. Or maybe I'll just build it over here because the pressure's like half what it is down here. But it's still going up steadily. I think anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have built it there. Maybe I should have been looking for a low pressure area. Everywhere's so high pressure. Pressure is a real problem. I'd never have realised that before. I guess because, you know, living on a, you know, the surface of a planet, as we do, pressure isn't really a problem because it all equalises out for the most part. Or maybe it does matter. Maybe every engineer in the world has thousands of hours of education on how to deal with pressure, and I don't because I twit. So is this... Can I look at the ventilation of the way? I think the current problem is that not enough hydrogen has actually been produced. Because annoyingly, maximum gas pressure. Already? Maximum gas pressure. High ambient gas is preventing this building from emitting gas. Reduce it by pumping gas away. But I can't do that. Because... So it literally cannot output the gas. It cannot output the gas because there's too much oxygen in here. This accursed oxygen. Okay. So surprise, surprise, this project didn't go very well. I mean, I wasn't expecting this to be a roaring success, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite such a failure. Yeah, so, surprise, surprise, to absolutely the grand total of nobody, my plan didn't work. My plan to produce hydrogen didn't work because my method of producing hydrogen produces so much oxygen that it doesn't work. I have had a thought though, if I open this, hydrogen goes up. It does, hydrogen goes up. So maybe if I open this door, the oxygen will flow out, but the hydrogen will stay in because of this bit here. It'll like act as like a trap for the hydrogen to go into. So the hydrogen will stay in this room even though the oxygen isn't, which then means that the hydrogen will stay in there and can still go in the filter into the pump. So that's great. But I have realised that that still doesn't really help us much because these pipes are blocked because this output vent doesn't work because there's too much pressure here. Great. Absolutely brilliant. Really? Is there a pressure overlay? No, there isn't. I really wish there was a pressure overlay. That would be amazingly useful to have. And that's what makes me think the pressure shouldn't be as much of a problem as it is, but for me it always ends up being a problem. Do I just... do I misreact to oxygen? Do I always do too much? I don't know. I've also just realised people are just standing around not doing anything as well, because I've just been sitting here thinking for so long. Right, let me just give them a few jobs to do, I suppose. Right, let's just dig everything within the vicinity of coal. Anything we see that looks like coal, let's get on with it. Let's finish those insulated tiles. Some tiles there. Brilliant. Please be something useful. No. Nothing useful. Fine, I guess we'll have some of these eggs for no particularly good reason. Maybe we can make an omelette or something. Which is a bit dark given the fact there's a living one right here. Okay. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try my best without letting the hydrogen out. I'm going to try my best to bust through here, build the pump, connect it, and leave. Build the pump, connect it, and leave. Run in, build the pump, connect, leave. So that we can then pump this hydrogen in there. Because this is already a very serious problem here. This CO2 here is already a very serious problem. What's that? Crude oil. How did the oil get in there, for goodness sake? Oh, good, and the amount of germs in here is increasing about 6,000 per square to about 40,000. Oh, that's gone down, though. This used to be about 250,000 germs. Now it's only 150,000. Is there like an anti-germ scrubber or something? Something I could use to reduce the amount of germs? Or do you not reduce the amount of germs? Do you just sort of solve the problem after it's happened with sinks and medicines and stuff? I don't know, and frankly, I haven't got a clue. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is ready now. This is all finished. So let me put a pump, a gas pump, in here. It strikes me I didn't build the the pipe, but never mind. What's wrong with you? Oh. Brilliant. My old enemy. Temperature. What does it work in? It works as long as it's under 30 degrees, and everything's got above 30 degrees, is it? Yep, everything's got above 30 degrees already, and we've no way to access any ice, because all the ice is behind the abyssalite, which we don't have the skill to break through. Wow. I'm kind of impressed in a way, given the fact that it took us 14 episodes to royally screw up before, and now it's taken us far less. It's taken us 3.5 episodes to royally screw up absolutely everything. That's genuinely quite impressive even for me. Would you please just finish this pipe? We don't even need power. Power isn't even that much of a problem. I just don't want the heat production. It's not the power I'm worried about, it's the heat production. That's the thing I have a problem with. Not that. Why is V not ventilation? Right, see, this is what it's supposed to be the whole time. This is what it was supposed to be the whole time. It's getting slight damage because small amounts of oxygen and CO2 seeped in there while they were opening the doors. But I'm not going to go through the faff of building a filter every single time. But I think, for the time being, that means we can disable this building. We turn that off, then that will hopefully stop being such a accursed nuisance in terms of heat. Heat is a real problem. A serious, serious problem. Oh, those are bottles of crude oil. That's what that is. Oh, okay. In that case, if we've got a tiny bit of oil... In fact, actually, we could use these guys to produce just enough oil, to produce just enough plastic, to make just enough steam production. Maybe. Probably not, but possibly. Oh, whoop-de-doo, the fertilizer machine. I don't hate that or anything. We also need to get this going as well, because we need some of that as well. But let me think about this on a different day, maybe? I don't know. Come on, think, Phil, think, Phil. Oil. Where's the oil refinery? Here we are. First, control into petroleum and natural gas. Then how do I make plastics? Do I not have the thing I need for the plastics yet? How do I make plastic? No, I don't, because I never finished the freaking thing, that's why. Well, I've got to finish that first. And worry about all of this. Has it all gone? Has it all gone already? If it has all gone, this is going to be pumping CO2 into that thing, which is going to horribly damage everything. And I can't see whether the CO2 is gone there, and it wouldn't matter even if I could, because we can't disable this. Yes, the hydrogen's already gone. I don't know how I did my I can't even remember how I found my calculation of thinking that a pocket of gas this big would last us for 10 minutes. But it seriously hasn't. Right, if you would just kindly do me the honour of turning that frickin' thing off. Right, okay, so we produced some power, and it probably all went in the bin, didn't it? Because we don't have an awful lot of batteries at the moment. Can I see how much power we wasted yesterday? Okay, not actually a massive amount. Only a small amount, I think. 94 kilojoules. Is that a lot? Kind of. It's about 10% of what we produced, I think. Yeah, I think that's about 10% of what we produced was wasted. Okay, I've bit the proverbial bullet and upgraded somebody so that they can dig through abyssalite, which means we might actually be able to get access to this area. That still isn't going to be very easy, because we're still going to have to navigate our way through some really, really nasty environments to get there. Why is chlorine so useless? Why is there so much of it? Why do I still play this game, given that it's so difficult and I'm so bad at it? I haven't turned the coal generator back on, which means we've no coal, which means we've no power production going on. Oh gosh, I really shock myself sometimes. I genuinely shock myself with how stupid I am. But no. Right, okay. I'm gonna dig through here in the hope of getting access to some ice. The vast majority of this is polluted ice, and I don't know if polluted ice can be used in an icy fan. I somehow doubt that it can be. But now that I've upgraded somebody in order to actually have the correct skill to actually dig through here, only one person's got it, which means it's going to take time to get through here. But never mind that, we are going to get through here. We're going to get access to this ice, and more importantly, that ice will allow us to... What in the name of all hell are you? You're a tropical Pacquiao. What a name. Every organism in the known universe finds Pacquiao extremely delicious. Fascinating, fascinating. Why does it have such an underbite? Anyway, what's the temperature looking like around here? Obviously low where the ice is, but very hot surrounding it, which makes no sense, right? Why doesn't this translate? Why doesn't this cold area cool down the hot area? Why is that not a thing? But anyway, yeah. We'll get access to the ice, and that will give us the icy fans. We'll get them working, if nothing else, which will at least help us cool down our crops, which are overheating, meaning we're not producing any food. We've got a lot of food right now, which is fantastic. Genuinely brilliant that we've got plenty of food, but it's also a pain in the bum. Making good progress. Research. What did we finish researching? We finished researching the plastic manufacturing. Okay, that's good. So we need a oil refinery. I know this has been a bit sporadic, and for that I sincerely apologise. I genuinely do. It's just a royal pain in the butt dealing with this, because this is just so annoying. So it produces petroleum. How do I then use petroleum? Is petroleum the thing that's used in plastic production? Converts petroleum into raw plastic. Brilliant. Okay, so let's put the oil refinery down, and let's put it right here. I'm going to try and use this as a tiny oil thing, because I don't want large volumes of oil production, petroleum production. I can live with small volumes of it, because we've got a little bit of oil being produced by all of these weird creatures that are living. I don't know where they came from or what they're doing here, but we've got quite a lot of them. And currently, just in the last few days, they have managed to produce for us 6 kilograms of crude oil. Okay, I thought you would produce slightly more than that. Yes, that's just 390 grams of it. Okay, well that's slightly rained on my parade. That's the 0 button, Phil, that's not E. Or O, even. Right. Put that in there. Put a tiny reservoir of crude oil in here. And then pump that oil into here, which then turns the oil into... turns the oil into petroleum, and then we'll have another machine over here which turns the petroleum into the plastic, and then we'll use the plastic to produce the steam turbines, which we never got around to doing. This isn't even heating the water up that well. It isn't. It's not even heating the water. It's not even turning it into steam. This whole steam idea of mine is probably going to be completely dead before it's even begun. But never mind, I'm going to soldier on with it. I am going to soldier on with it. Oh yeah, and of course this is going to massively increase our power consumption. Of course it is. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Power seems to be the thing I always forget about, despite it being the thing that I spend most of my time thinking about. I'm going to have to upgrade to the heavy wire soon as well. Which I can't do because I still haven't made the metal refinery, which is another thing I'm in desperate need of. Which, again, produces a buttload of heat. Brilliant. Fine. But I'm going to build it on the outskirts. If we're going to have heat, we're not going to have heat in the middle of our base. If nothing else, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to... We may die, But if we do die, it's not going to be from me purposefully killing myself. Have we run out of sand? I feel like we're running out of sand. I feel like we don't have much sand left. No, we have 36 tons of sand. At least that's one thing we don't have to worry about. Right, are we through here? Yes, we are. Thank everything that has ever existed in the entire universe for that. What do these things do? Absorb heat. Really? These water can be placed in planter boxes, farm tiles, or hydroponic farms and absorb heat by respiring through their porous outer membranes. Has a cooling effect. You don't say. That sounds like a far better solution than icy fans. There's not many of them, but maybe if we find a few of them and we uproot them, then just possibly we'll find another potential solution to this issue. But for the time being, the icy fans will have to do. Okay, all of this is working now. So let me assign this to be our crude oil. And they'll get all of that oil, and they'll just dump all of that oil in here, which will solve one problem. Okay, right. This is snow, which is snow like a. It's snow like an intermediary stage towards ice. It becomes water when melted. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. All I care about is ice. All I care about is the fact that we have some ice here. I don't think the polluted ice is what we want, but I'm gonna try screwing around with it anyway. Oh, it uses the liquid as a coolant. Oh, I see. Okay. So no liquid output. So what does it do? It needs a liquid output. Yeah, but what does it output? Probably find that out here, can't I, in the refinement section. Metal refinery. Right. Effects. Produces, significantly heats the liquid. Okay, so it's just clean water then. It doesn't produce bad water, but it does make the water very hot. Yeah, that's still a pain in my bum. But never mind. Let me find the wire. Okay, we've got to get this operating though. Maybe we just dump it up here or something. Yeah, I kind of like the sound of that. I kind of like the idea of that. I say we get a ladder. We put it there. We then get some pipes. I say we just use this and we just send it round. I say that's what we do. Oh, have you ever seen such a messy system for doing the grand total of nothing? Right, and now we have to find ourselves somewhere to store our natural gas. I'm not complaining about the production of natural gas, because natural gas is something else we can use to produce a bit of power. What I'm complaining about is the annoying nature of its existence. Where am I going to pump the natural gas? I need to pump it somewhere safe, somewhere sensible, somewhere where I can make use of it, not waste it. Are we getting ourselves any ice? I don't even know where the ice is. Liquefiable ice. Yeah, here we go. Yay! I think, without me even noticing, because I honestly wasn't paying any attention, I think we've actually got the ice generators working now. That's great. Pips are pesky non-hostile creatures. I thought these were the pipsqueaks. Anyway, I don't want another person, because frankly I have enough problems right now. Okay. Ventilation. Pipes. This is going to be very, very messy. And I mean like monstrously messy. However, I hope that it's going to work. Because here in our power production area, we have a natural gas converter. Goodness, this thing is massive. And assuming that this thing doesn't also require an intake, which it probably is going to require an intake, but never mind. Can I put the priority of this thing up a bit? Because I really do want all of this oil to be cleared up immediately. They're not dropping as much as they used to be. And I'm also wondering where they've all gone. Where have those creatures gone? Did they reach the end of their life cycle? Did they die? Is that what happened to them? Are they not very long-living creatures? Or have they just vanished somewhere? I can't find them anywhere in the base. I'm going to assume, rather tragically, that my oil-producing little weird jellyfish creatures have died. Great. Which means we are stuck with a mere 1.5 tons of oil. Okay, we might just be able to do it. 1.5 tons of oil is not too bad. Great. Absolutely brilliant. I built this entire facility here for the refinement of oil into plastic, and as it transpired, the minute I did that, all the creatures that were producing oil promptly went and died. Well, there's a tiny drop of oil. I'm sure that will be enough. Oh, gosh. And this is a complete waste of time now, because we won't actually be producing any natural gas, because the polymer press isn't working, because the oil refinery isn't working, because the pump isn't working, because there's no oil. Because we only ever got like a kilogram or 2 of oil out of those guys. So my whole plan about using them in order to get just enough oil to get everything else working didn't work at all. I don't get it, right? I just don't get why I try so hard and I keep doing that. I don't get why every single time I try to do something, everything just goes thoroughly wrong. Every single time. What? What do you mean gas output? Oh, this produces carbon dioxide and polluted water as well. Oh, I didn't realise that. That was me thinking to be clean. Of course it's not clean. Oh! Great! Brilliant. Absolutely freaking brilliant. All of this water is now coming down here, and filling this up, and now we're going to go to bed, which means this is going to carry on all night. For the entirety of the night, this is going to happen. Nothing's going to get done. Nothing at all. I could scream. I could howl and wail and cry. Because this game just seems to not like me, because I'm just not very good at it. I think, to be honest, coming back to this game was a bit of a stupid idea, frankly. I think that might have been a slightly moronic plan. Because I seemingly just assumed that everything would be fine, even though clearly nothing is fine. Clearly everything is terrible, because now all their feet are wet. Because there's water everywhere, and no one is going to deal with this problem. Right. Thank you. Oh. Spiffing. And just when I thought the problem couldn't get any worse, all that polluted ice that we found, and I was thinking, oh, the polluted ice will be fine, I'll just turn it into... We'll just use it to power the icy fans. No, it all melted and turned into polluted water, and now there's polluted water all over the freaking floor. I don't think I'm cut out for this game. I genuinely don't. I think you need to have either a brain, a vague understanding of physics, better planning abilities, and just not being as stupid as I am. I don't know. Or maybe there's like... Maybe I'm not like appreciating the complexities of the game or something. Maybe there's more to the game than I'm actually realizing, and there's supposed to be some sort of process that you're supposed to take advantage of that I'm not realizing, like the animals maybe, the animals or the plants, or maybe I'm trying to progress too fast or progress in the wrong ways. I don't know. I'm certainly doing something wrong. I'm certainly doing something extremely wrong, because clearly nothing is working right now and everything's going wrong, and they're still not getting on with any of this work, which I'm desperate for them to do, because the Wheezeworts might actually solve one problem of ours. Let's at least get the Wheezeworts. Yay, Wheezewort seed. Wart seed. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, now, What I need to do is uproot a handful of these. So I'm going to get a few weezeworts. So what I need to do is get the planter boxes and increase the number of planters we have by 4. And then uproot that. And that. And that. And this. Uproot all of them, and we're going to replace them with the weezewort seeds, which will eventually grow and will eventually start dealing with our problem. I hope. Possibly. Probably not. Is that even reachable? I don't even know if they can reach that or not. Click the fucking thing. What? What? Anti-entropy thermonullifier awaiting fuel hydrogen? What? A self-sustaining machine powered by what appears to be refined... whatever under the goodness gracious me is that? Absorbs and neutralizes heat energy when provided with piped hydrogen. Kiddo, if I had any hydrogen, I wouldn't be giving it to whatever under the sun an anti-entropy thermonullifier is. I'm guessing that's some kind of alien technology. There's actually quite a lot of weezeworts here. I think if I just distributed weezeworts throughout my base quite a lot, or maybe you could have a heat-producing power generator, but have loads of weezeworts surrounding it so that they got rid of the heat, even though it was being produced. You could have like a power and ore refinery and like general refinement section of your base in one place, and then just have lots of weezeworts there which sort out the heat for you. Maybe that could be the thing that you do. See here, this is working now. And I think this is going to cool this area down a little bit. Hopefully. Does it give like a statistic on what it's doing? Because it's grown immediately, which is brilliant. And it has a decor. But no, I don't think it does. Oh. Fertilizer. Fertilization. Dirt. You're saying you use dirt as fertilizer, because if that's the case, that's fine. I'm just slightly worried about the whole fertilization thing here that it's talking about. Do we have phosphorus? Cultivatable soil, agriculture. We've 6 tons of it. Okay, that's good. That's nothing to worry about then. I thought we were going to have to go back on that fertilization machine again. Would somebody, for goodness sake, would somebody just mop this? I am so freaking sick of everyone just walking around with a moppage all the time. I'm so sick of people pressing all the buttons as well. I don't know. I feel like this game was made by a scientist. This game was made by a scientist. And I'm not a scientist. I'm a nitwit. That's what I am. An absolute nitwit. I've done everything wrong. I mean, look at this mess, for crying out loud. I was convinced that this colony would go better. I thought I would learn from the mistakes of the past and get it all right this time. But no, I didn't. Of course I didn't. Right. We've got another weezewort seed we can have anyway. If nothing else, we can at least put one more in there. And then hopefully that means we can get someone off this fan. I mean, this has gone down quite cool, so I'm going to actually disable this building for the time being so that they can get on with all the jobs. How's the morale looking? Any better? You have 26 morale, you have 24 morale, and you have 22 morale, and Abe has 5. You know, like Abe is being discriminated against. It's a good sign, though, right? Like, you might not realise it, but me laughing is actually a good sign, because it means we've gotten past the angry stage. Good? Right? Yes? Words. Oh, look, this is working again. Brilliant! That thing that I didn't need to do anything. That thing that didn't need to do anything is working again. Stop it! You're using power to not do anything! You're literally just moving it from A to B. And not productively. Okay, good. We've got another weezewort available. We'll put that one down here. We've nearly got access to this one. Just need to put that one at 7, so it's equal priority to the flower itself. And we go up here, we can get 3 more. 4 more even. There's one up there as well. And we're not that far away from actually busting down here, where there are some more. So I think that could solve our temperature problem. I genuinely think it do. And I'm scared to actually give these people any skills in response to their massive morale. Superb meal. Really, you're getting 16 from a superb meal? That's probably not going to last, is it? Oh, because they're eating the spicy tofu. Ah, that's why their morale is so high, because they're eating the spicy tofu that came in through the duplicate processor, printer even. And no, that's not going to last by any stretch of the imagination. No fertilizer. What? Oh, because what? I thought we had 6 tons of phosphorus. We do! What? Why aren't you getting the phosphorus, you great goosesauruses? Are the priorities not... Have the priorities reset themselves? No, that's not. I'm going to put the priorities on 7. Because they need to be working, or else the rest of the plants aren't going to be working. Okay, so it is just a delivery problem that they had. They didn't have a problem of not having any phosphorus. We've got lots of it, they just haven't got any of it. Okay, good, we've got the final seed there, which means we can set this up. Right, I didn't realise that your hydroponic bays were meant to be this complicated, right? I didn't realise that they were meant to have other plants in them, which were meant to cultivate a more productive environment for the rest of your plants. I didn't realise that was the situation. I should have realised that was the situation, because that's probably how real things work. But, surprise, surprise, I don't know how real things work, because I don't go out into the real world. I'm doing this. I don't really want... I suppose it's better to have a seed than not have a seed, I suppose. Better than nothing. Should we do some research on something? I got this as well, this ranching stuff. This all looks monstrously complicated. Airborne critter bait attracts one type of airborne critter. I was hoping fish release traps automatically dispenses food. That's good, but how under the sun am I going to produce food for them? Allows the assigned rancher to care for critters. Duplicates must possess the critter wrangling skill. Yeah, I think shearing station. Goodness, is that where you get like fruit and stuff? Fur. Yes, we get fruit from shearing sheep. Phil, didn't you know isn't that what Wales is famous for? All that sheep fruit shearing they do over there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. What I'd quite like to do is melt all this ice. Take all this ice and melt it. Ah, interesting. We've discovered the area with the salt water in it. Why didn't I just choose the planet that was full of salt water? Why didn't I just pick that? I really should have started on that planet, because that planet would have given me loads of water, and water right now, I could do it. I can do everything with water. I can make oxygen with it. I can make power with it. Well, I mean, not directly. Why is there no hydropower? That would be brilliant if because that's the wrong tab. Why is there no hydropower? If we could just turn water directly into power, which is a thing that exists in the history of the universe, that would be brilliant. See, we could turn water, we could then heat it, we turn that with power, we turn that into steam, we then use that to generate power. With heaps and heaps of water, I'd be fine. If we could just find the world's largest ocean, if we could just dump the Atlantic Ocean into this business, all of my problems would be solved today. But never mind. Again, I'm sorry that nothing has got done. I assumed that the first planet would be the easiest to live on. I assumed that every planet after that was more difficult. But maybe not. Maybe you're not meant to survive for very long on this planet, and you're meant to realise that you need massive amounts of water and then come back to more complicated planets later. Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. Now people's morale has gone back down to more logical levels. Now that they've stopped eating the spicy tofu, which we've now run out of. Oh dear. Anyway, I think for the time being, because I honestly can't. Oh, let's actually finish this project. Yeah, let's do that as one last thing we do in this video before I burst into tears. Let's actually get the metal refinery working. Just at the moment we're getting a circuit overload, which I'm not quite sure where that's happening. Probably this, actually, thinking about it. This is probably using slightly more than we have available. Never mind, I can't bother to look at the statistics, but we've got this working now, which means we're actually producing refined metal. Which means we can make the advanced cables, and we have the refined metal that we need in order to produce the whatever it's called. I'm also trying to build some of this. I don't know if this is going to work. In fact, it's not, because it's clearly going to overheat the moment it gets to 5 degrees, which is going to do in about 5 seconds. Yep, and now it doesn't work anymore because it's too hot. Brilliant. I was going to try and also end this video by making some sleet wheat, which falls off the tongue very nicely. But unfortunately what it also does is it doesn't work, because its internal body temperature is too... It requires that it is at a low temperature at all times, which is very annoying. Which is why the sleet wheat grows in here, because it has to be within -55 and +5 degrees. And of course this area is probably about, what, 20 degrees? 25 degrees? Seems like these weren't the thing that were putting the... Oh no, putting the temperature down a little bit. Okay, there's nothing to worry about them. Yeah, I was going to try and move them onto a better food source, but I don't think we're able to do that. So, we started by trying to get the hydrogen working again, and we ended by getting the metal refinery working again. That's absolutely brilliant. How much refined metal have we got now? 300 kilograms. That's a start. So yeah, I think that's enough for right now, and enough until I can figure out what under the sun I'm supposed to do. What I might do is I might actually look up like some generalized strategy guides on this game to see if there's sort of general consensus over how to get started and things, because me just trying doesn't seem to go very well. Because me just trying seems to end up being very trying. Can I at least check? Yeah, this doesn't use water, it just heats it. Because this water is just getting quite hot. But other than that, it's not a problem. So, yeah. We had big ambitions. We had big ambitions using the animals to create the oil, to get all of this operating, to make the plastic, to make the steam production. The steam that we still haven't produced. Using the hydrogen, which we said would last 10 minutes, and it actually lasts about 10 seconds. But never mind. Never mind any of that. Would somebody get this building working? Why is this not working? Building disabled. Get on with it, for crying out loud. Because this is filling up. Right, there we are. This is running out, more to the point. But anyway, yes, that will have to be enough. Again, I'm sorry that I feel we got so little progress done, and I'm sorry that progress is coming to a grinding halt. But I'm just honestly not sure how to progress. I just need something to go right. I feel like one thing to go right would kick us out of this rut and we could get on with things. But maybe not. Maybe there's just more problems around the corner. I've no idea. But I've been talking for about 2 hours and 45 minutes at the moment. And my voice is about as red and as sore as... I can't even think of an entertaining analogy for that. I can't even say the word entertaining. So, anyway, that's more than enough of this for now. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.